This segment of DelmarvaLife is sponsored by AC Plant and Turf.
Early preparation makes all the difference in the world. Think about it. It's a rule that applies to just about everything, whether you're studying for a test, filling the fuel tank in your car, or doing some grocery shopping. Almost all of our activities are about preparing for the future. Now, as far as making sure your yard and your lawn are in tip-top shape, that too requires some thinking ahead. But you don't need to think too hard, because we are here with Richie Thurman. He is an arborist and owner of AC Plant and Turf. Welcome to DelmarvaLife this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so let's start talking about your company. Why is it important to choose a company with certified lawn and plant care specialists, including arborists, agronomists, when caring for your landscape?
Yeah, so I think the big thing is, with my company especially, is we all chose to do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we joke that we're just a bunch of plant nerds. So I'm an arborist. We have plant scientists that work for us. I think he's been on the show, and agronomists. So we do a lot of continual education. But the big thing is these guys come into this with a lot of education already. So Delmarva's, we're always changing, our climate's changing, our pest and disease issues are always changing. So having a company that has a really solid background in it and chooses to do this as a career, knowing coming out of college, I went to school for lawn, I'm coming out, I'm gonna look at lawns, it really makes a difference. And I would say it makes a difference as much as the education is just the caring part, right? Mm-hmm. You spent 4 years of your life working on an education in plant science or agronomy, or to be an arborist, and coming out to say, okay, this is what I wanna do for a career. So not only is it something that we are highly educated in, but it's something we just kind of live and enjoy every day. So I think, you know, my big thing in life is, like, if you enjoy what you're doing, then you're really good at it. And again, we're just a bunch of plant nerds. So really just having those conversations and trying to make sure we're always keeping up with all the changing things that are happening on the Eastern Shore.
Yeah, and it is ever changing. So how does your approach go beyond just spraying a property to ensure health and sustainability?
Yeah, so we're unique in the way that, especially if you look at our tree side, is we actually don't remove trees. So we're one of the few companies that really take a look at what can we do to continue preserving the life on your property. How can we move your plant material in a forward direction? So it's really important that you understand all the dynamics of plant material. And when we show up to properties, taking a look at, okay, how long has this tree been here? What has changed in the property? Our staff ask a lot of questions, because a lot of the issues that people are seeing, like today, oh, I'm having a problem with this tree, it's what did you do a year or 2 or 5 years ago that has changed kind of the soil or the drainage on the property, and how can we amend those issues? Not just treating the plant, but also, like, how do we fix the environment around it to make sure that you're not constantly spending money on retreatments, and then also how do we move that plant material in a forward direction?
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the certifications. What is that process like to get certified in this kind of work?
Yeah, so the big thing that we always expect out of all of our team is that they become certified technicians. So what that is either through the University of Delaware or on the Maryland side, like everybody that shows up on your property actually has a certification for treating plant material, for treating your lawn. So that's the first step, and then you have to work under us for 2 years before you can start your arbor certification. So that's just the first process of doing that. So our goal is to continue to move people in a forward direction. So we have people that started off as plant care technicians, moved into arborists, and now they're certified arborists.
And along that line, what kind of tools and training do you offer to employees who work with you?
Yeah, so the big thing is that we have this training side on both divisions. And the goal is, we have a lot of people that work with us that, you know, have really good educations, but also just coming right out of high school where you go, hey, I'd like a career, I like being outside. That's an important one. Like, people who enjoy being outside. I didn't even know this was an option when I was in high school, to be able to do this, and to see guys that come out that have a college degree in plant science or agronomy, but also young guys that are coming out of school, or young ladies that are coming out of high school going, I like being outside, but I don't necessarily know what I want to do. We have a really extensive training program to move them from just starting off as an apprentice to move them all the way up to a service manager or a sales account manager. Mm-hmm. And that comes with a lot of training along the way. And we really try to sit down with everybody every year and go, okay, what are your goals for next year? how are you going to reach your potential? And we just had a meeting today, and I said, you know, one of our big things is 1% better every day. And what we focus on is how can you be 1% better today? Not making the business better, but working on yourself and moving yourself in a forward direction will just kind of transfer over to making the business better every day. So we really focus on people. We focus on developing young people that come in the business. Most of our staff has been there for at least 5 or 6 years. Some have been there longer. But that's really our focus, to continue to develop people. So whether that's from an educational standpoint or just making sure that they're hitting their goals for the year, that's something we really focus on.
All steps toward making your work better
Yes.
for the people you serve. Richie, thank you so much for coming in and talking this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.